Welcome to the Heat Source Quickfire, the mini episode where we taste and discuss one sauce in under 15 minutes. Hopefully. We bring our best facts to the table and let you decide whose is best. Let's heat up. All right, welcome back to the Heat Source Quickfire, where we have another double header lined up. And this one is putting a dent into our Faiya collection. We've got Mama Juana and La Muerte that we're trying today. The Mama Juana one is what we're going to be trying first. It's another early morning, so we'll see how this goes. But I'm excited for what these two... Yeah, I'm excited for what these two sauces are going to bring as far as the options for food for the next few days here. And so the Faiya brand, just if people don't realize, that was an episode we did just not too long ago, episode 15. It was back in August 24th that it aired. It's Roddy, who owns the company based in Philadelphia, but we did the Salsa Roja, which I've been burning through mine pretty good. I'm trying to portion it out because I have other things. Gone. I want to go to a wet burrito place and put at least the last bit. Yeah. Kind of like the end of that round of the bottle.
Well, yeah, we need to do another wet burrito. We haven't done one in a while,
and it sounds good. But so we're going to be trying these sauces. We still have 4 more sauces of his to try, so I'm excited. But these ones are pretty interesting. They both were ones that I've heard recommended by multiple people in both the comments of the episode when I asked, hey, what's the sauce that you would recommend next? I've heard some other interviews and some other discussions about Faiya where they La Muerte, even though it's a Reaper sauce, it was talked about how great that sauce was. And
I'm excited to try that one. I'm excited to try both, but that Reaper heard a lot of good things, and it just looks hot.
It's been the most enthusiastic I've been about wanting to try a Reaper sauce. I'm usually more, begrudgingly saying, yeah, let's do this. But the Mama Juana sauce, it's a collaboration with Faiya and another company called Piken, that their Instagram is piken.nyc. But this sauce, it says handmade in small batches by real Dominicans, real ingredients, organic, gluten-free, vegan, preservative-free. It recommends pairings. Well, I'm not going to read into that yet because I want to try it first.
The pairings, I did read the pairings, and it's I'm sorry.
It's fine.
It's like my weekly diet is what the pairings is.
Okay, well, did you read it on the bottle or just on the site? Because they've got empanadas, chicharron. I don't know what these other things are. Sancocho, fricatakis, barbecue. Found one. Barbecue, pizza, burgers, tacos, everything.
Roddy's he's going to pop his headphones off, be like, okay, I've had enough of that.
It's all right, you guys don't understand. You're missing out on quality food, and also you can't pronounce for crap. But no, this one I'm very interested in. This is one that's got a darker brown.
It's like the color of a classic jerk sauce.
Yeah, it talks about the first Mama Juana hot sauce ever made, a blend of spiced spirits, hot peppers, tamarind, mango, and spices, inspired by Dominican rum culture. This is a great match for the Caribbean food you already love, adding flavor and heat. So they talk about rum culture and spiced spirits. I don't think we've tried on the podcast a sauce with potential alcohol content in it.
So I guess, is it cooked? Do you know if it's cooked down?
I'm assuming it's cooked down. I don't.
Okay, because we had one that was not cooked down.
Yeah, not on the podcast.
And I feel like
not a sponsor.
Yeah, this is definitely not a sponsor.
So let's give this.
But yeah, the last one we tried definitely did not cook it down. I cannot believe you did not have to show your ID.
Oh, wow.
To buy that bottle of hot sauce.
So I've got my allergies kicking up, so I'm not I can smell that. But
not anymore.
I know. I'm all right, well.
A lot of spices going on.
Yeah, there's a lot of.
I think I do get a little a hint of rum.
Yeah,
by smelling it.
This is one where I feel like there's going to be some flavors in here that I'm not used to. Whether it be not that I'm not used to them altogether, but maybe not used to them on the forefront of a sauce. It has a pretty quick pour, just as a warning.
Well, that was a slow pour. That was a slow pour.
The table just peppered with slow pours, and
scars are beautiful, man.
That's true. Man, this does smell really good.
All right, ready?
Yep.
Oh, wow.
It heats up real fast.
Yeah. And it's already mellowed out. But dang, that's good.
So the empanadas, this is the one that Sam from Sam's House talked about. He went to Costco, bought like a bulk thing of empanadas.
Yeah.
Cooked them up and then put this on there. That might be something that I do in stock at the office because we got that air fryer.
Yeah.
Where it's just empanadas in the air fryer.
Dang.
Throw this on there.
That's a good one.
So it's lingering for me, but not lingering at the same level. It's like big heat up front and then kind of just like, I feel just like a slow, smooth burn at the end.
That didn't linger for me at all. Like it's
like you don't have any of it still?
No.
I still have it in the back of my throat.
Like I can taste it still.
Yeah.
But like a hard spike mellows out really quick, which I really like in hot sauce because then like you get to taste the next bite.
It's something where it's nice where it's kind of a build your own adventure where like, hey, if you want to keep it building, keep eating it, keep adding it. But it's something where if you just try a little bit and you don't want to suddenly have like the next 15 minutes ruined for you, you're good.
Dang, that's a drinker.
So they talk about on the ingredients, tamarind.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know how familiar you are with that because I was not before this.
I couldn't tell you really anything about it.
Okay.
I know vaguely what it is.
Also, this was a sauce. It just came out early this year, March 2022.
Hope it stays.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I think it will. It's one of those where I know like the Muerte right now is sold out and that comes in batches. This might be one that is the same, but it still looks like it's still available on their website. But so I'm going to go into my fun fact because I didn't know a whole lot about tamarind.
Mm-hmm.
I did see that it's part of the legume family, which is not the fact, but it's just.
Did you have to do that?
I had to. Once I saw it, I was like, well, yeah, I had to. But also, like, not everything in that family is a bean that you have issues with.
I love green beans. I love edamame.
Do you like peas?
I love peas.
That's the weird thing because some of my family was talking to me this weekend and like, oh, yeah, we like the podcast. It's really interesting how Mike doesn't like beans. I'm like, yeah.
Like, that's what you got out of it?
They're only a couple episodes in, and apparently that's been, like, hit pretty hard early on.
You should be like the fava beans, whatever episode that was, just be like, you should jump right to that one.
Oh, yeah. That would be a good one. I'd have to remember which one that... I know the photos would tell me, but yeah, this one... but that was funny that stood out. I'm like, yeah, it does not like beans at all. But for the tamarind, one of the things that I didn't realize is tamarind is actually used as a key ingredient in two things that I use every week in cooking. The other one I've used in the past, but I don't use as much anymore. A1 steak sauce has tamarind in it.
Really?
And Worcestershire,
yeah,
not Worcester, not Massachusetts, but Worcestershire has, I said it 4 times. If you say it 3 times, it's supposed to appear. But it has tamarind extract. I think it's tamarind extract in one of the ingredients. I looked on the bottle in my fridge. Tamarind extract.
Really?
Yeah.
I did not know that. That's super interesting. Because now that you mention it, I wouldn't have picked up on this before.
Mm-hmm.
But I feel like, you know how when you have A1 or you have Worcestershire, it's like a very similar taste.
Yeah.
It's just one's more seasoned up. You have like a certain sensation in your mouth. That actually gives me a similar sensation.
Yeah, so this is one that...
I'm wondering if that's what that is.
I mean...
I don't know how to describe it.
Put this on just pick your poison of grilled meats. I mean, it mentions
you can just
barbecue.
Put it on steak.
But yeah, just a steak, putting that on there. But yeah, so the heat... Yeah, I put the heat as like a high 1, because it did kick and linger a little bit for me.
Yeah.
Maybe a low 2. Maybe I'll have to try another one.
I think I'm going to go 2, just because that initial spike for me was like, whoa.
The initial spike is hard, so it's not like it's not something where I want someone to go, oh, yeah, it's just a 1, and then the first 12 seconds, they don't care. They don't care that it tapers off. They're like, the first 12 seconds is what I'm worried about.
Mm-hmm. Sorry, my throat cleared again.
Oh, it's fine. I'm going to have a collection of them, and it's going to be a separate episode of if you are amused by Mike's throat clearing, listen to this. It's a 20-minute clip of all the throat clearings.
And that's just episode 1. So for my fact,
yeah,
I don't know if I want to go with a fact or a tip.
Ooh, I went really high with that. Ooh.
Oh man, so
I'm gonna let you. I mean, that's a you choice there.
All right. I think I'm gonna go with. Shoot. Okay, I'm gonna hit you with the fact.
Okay.
So President George Washington was quite the mixologist back in the day. In fact, he was well known for his famous Mount Vernon eggnog, which I had to say it because the holidays are coming up and I absolutely love eggnog. The main ingredient was dark Jamaican rum.
Okay.
Which I'm not sure what Mount Vernon eggnog is compared to regular eggnog, but I love rum. Love eggnog. Why not, right?
I do love eggnog.
Okay, I'm gonna hit you. You did this to me. I think you owe me one.
You can double up on facts. That's cool.
This is more of a tip. Rum can help prevent hair loss. So,
I feel like that's an attack. I feel like it's an attack.
No, it's called a tip.
Okay.
So it says, as if you needed another reason to drink rum, there are some suggestions that this liquor can actually help prevent hair loss. Many people believe in this home remedy to keep their hair in place. In fact, in the 1800s, rum was used by many as a type of shampoo to clean the hair, and most people believe that it actually helped make hair thicker. So, not
cool.
A hard fact, but that it was used as essentially a medicine or a shampoo.
Yeah, I mean, not to throw myself under the bus here for any family listening, but I don't feel like a lack of alcohol, especially rum, was a problem in my 20s. So I don't know if that would have helped.
Hold on, was it internal or external? Because that made it sound like you have to put it on externally.
I mean, at a certain point, the internal should exude out of like the pores and stuff. But yeah,
that's funny. I just thought that was funny because it was like right next to, in the same paragraph, it was right next to the George Washington thing.
Well, and the interesting thing is, so I started losing mine kind of in my late 20s, my hair. And for those that haven't seen me in person, I have a shaved head now because I fired it before it quit fully on me. But my dad, he started losing hair in his early 20s where I'm like, man, if it's before 21, can you rub rum in your hair? If you're like, hey, I'm not trying to drink it. I just need to rub in my hair to keep it from going out. Like if Mason, my son, who I hope doesn't have my same hair destiny, but probably will, if he just wants to rub it in his hair, is he gonna get in trouble? Because it's like, yeah, he smells like rum. He cannot be at school today.
No, it's just in his hair.
Yeah, it's just a nice tonic for the hair follicles.
So have you heard like you get it from your mom's dad?
Yeah, it's completely untrue.
Okay, because my mom's dad, she told me he was like bald by the time he was like mid-20s.
Yeah. And my mom's dad had a solid head of hair his whole life.
Okay.
But if you look at a photo of me, my dad, and my grandpa, it is just 3 cue balls.
3 cue balls.
3, fully bald tops of the head, blue eyes, same like nose. Like it's just variations of the same copy.
It's like Pokemon.
Exactly. It's just the different levels. So.
Oh, that's funny.
Oh man! All right,
that was a good sauce.
That was a really good sauce. I really liked it. I feel like because I'm not as familiar with like Dominican cuisine, I'm kind of shorting it on all the things you could put it on. Like that's why on the bottle it lists off a lot of things. I mean, tacos, burgers, pizza, and barbecue. That alone, and empanadas. Those are going to be easy to put this on. But yeah, I put the heat as a 2 as well. And again, it's 0 through 5. So 2 is just that the heat is present. It's lingering. It's one of those where there's those hot sauces where it's like it's hot, but just for a second. This one, that hit is so strong at the beginning that even though it lingers, and for me, it held on a little bit more on the tongue, back of the throat a little bit. I don't know if that's because the allergies, so it like attached to like nasal drip or something. It's just like, hey, let's spice this up.
Latched onto a tonsil.
Yeah. I just have this envision of all the cartoon, not germs, but those cartoon like medications commercials where it's like get rid of Flem. And the Flem is just a guy, like a wife beater, and he seems to have
the couch potato guy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, so for this one, on our scale, I gave it an 84.
And an 83.
That's the crazy thing on this is we don't
share each other's scores.
We're writing them down as we record. So we're just writing it down. And then like if it was me, I would instinctively try to be more like different, where it's like, oh, you went here, like just to make, because like who wants to hear two people go 82 at the same time?
Yeah.
But it's a good sauce. Above 75 is one that you'd want in your kitchen. This is a unique flavor, a unique, category of food that I'd like to learn more about that this sauce would automatically pair with.
Yeah.
But yeah, I really enjoyed it.
For sure. I've got a pork tenderloin in my fridge or in my freezer.
Yeah.
And I feel like just that would go good with pork. I don't know why, but that's just sticking.
That would be good. I've been wanting to do you ever had like a fried pork sandwich? Just like there was a place I was driving up north that had a really good one. And man, when I closed that, the smell just kind of wafted one last like, don't forget about me. So
I won't.
I've got lunches coming up this week, but it's something where it's just like a nice fried pork sandwich, like that would be good on there. I don't know.
Yeah. No, that's going on a lot of things.
So that is the Mama Juana. Really like that one. I'm just going to make me learn more about Dominican cuisine. I might have to pick Roddy's brain on some dishes to learn, or the ones to find. I don't know of any. I'd have to look to see what Dominican places are in the area if we have any that could go and try.
I don't think so. The only thing I could think of that's remotely close to that would be like Danzon Cabano.
Okay.
But it's a Cuban joint.
Yeah, but it's like the most adjacent.
That'd be the closest I could think of, which to me there's parallels with my very small knowledge, but I could be vastly off. So if I offended you, Roddy, I'm sorry.
Well, if you were vastly off, the way to punish would be to try a Reaper sauce, which La Muerte is the next one in line.
Being proactive in punishment.
Yeah, let's be proactive in the punishment. So La Muerte this one is one of his original 3 that he came out with. We talked about that on his original episode. It was his first recipe he created for the brand. He wanted that Reaper sauce. He didn't make this sauce first because he had to grow the Reapers. But it's a Carolina Reaper, red habanero, and on the website it says Tears of Its Enemies sauce. Those are the 3 main ingredients. But just to read a little bit on the back here, La Muerte is by far the hottest sauce Faiya can offer, made with the infamous Carolina Reaper, grown in our own garden, produced in small batches every fall, and released on Halloween. Death is coming. Now, it is sold out right now, so this was the 3rd batch that he did.
So that's a seasonal Halloween sauce?
That's such a weird phrase to say.
Is that what you just said?
It says on here that it's released on Halloween, so okay. I'm thinking that then batch number 4 might be coming up soon. Don't quote me on that. It says, try it on everything. If you truly enjoy flavorful, intense heat, this is the sauce for you. And then it does remind us that each bottle donates 1 meal to help fight food insecurity. So you can visit Faiya.co to learn more about the 1 million meals mission, which we talked about on the main episode.
Yeah.
So
that's a cool game.
He has this as a level 10 out of 10 death. Shake well, refrigerate after opening. Now,
Dang. Why didn't you want to do this one first?
Because I just didn't know what to expect. And we'll get into I've got my fact that I'm bringing to the table, but I also have a surprise fact that I will reveal this episode. I'm excited about this one. I'm excited about this sauce, but I'm also excited about the fact. Because I think I told you this other fact, but you might not remember. But just on the ingredient list here, tomatoes, distilled vinegar, red peppers, onion, fresh habanero peppers, Carolina Reapers, garlic, kosher salt. I think the garlic's what's going to be the spiciest thing in this.
Yeah.
I think I like the label. It's just like a black and white label. It sets the tone.
Yeah. Very to the point.
It's a good red sauce. Like it's not one of those like artificially red sauces, but it is a nice bright.
Just a red orange.
Yeah.
Right, it looks like a classic hot sauce.
Give this a smell. Ooh, hit the tip of my nose. That's going to be a problem. Smells hot.
Smells hot.
Smells very hot. And again, great way to start the morning.
Yeah.
I think everyone should start with a Reaper in the morning.
Sinuses are cleared.
I
feel like the world would just be more productive if, instead of like smelling salts in the morning, just a quick shot of habanero or Reaper.
The coffee industry might take a slight dip because it's like, why don't people want as much coffee?
People are shooting up Carolina Reapers in the morning.
The pumpkin spice trend is starting now. I've seen it at a couple of coffee places. So I might have to throw a pumpkin hot sauce in one during the season just to... I feel like that would be a TikTok thing.
Oh, God. It burned a hole in the table.
Yeah, I was going to say, what's that sizzling? It's Mike spilling
smoking.
A drop of La Muerte. All right.
Ready?
So one more smell before I...
My nose is already running.
All right, let's do this. What also is a problem is I roll it over my tongue.
Yeah.
That's going to be problematic. So the heat initially is not, so the Mama Juana has a stronger punch in the beginning.
Yeah. This is
one of those builds. With every Reaper sauce we've had, I start to feel it. It starts to grow.
It's going to be a lingering heat.
It's one of those where
it's really good.
It's
like if you're after just like a classic.
It's a delicious classic sauce. Yeah. And some of the hotter ones, because my tolerance isn't as strong as yours on the heat scale yet. I might be able to build it up eventually, but this is one that, although the heat is building and it's getting stronger as I'm talking, it is not one that would ruin a dish for me or even the sauce, where some of them, like, it's so hot up front that I'm like, well, I can't really grade the flavor as well because my mouth is just distracted by the paint.
Yeah.
This is one that it's a building heat. I'm getting like a burp. Excuse me. I'll keep that one on the episode. But it is one where it's a building heat. It's something that you could put on a dish and yeah, it's going to be hot, but man, I could see sweating through a couple burritos or just thinking of a breakfast burrito right now.
Yeah.
This is one that, what was I going to say? Oh, okay. I'm a little distracted by the Reaper heat building. My tongue is like, and it's one of those where I know it's a mental game of your tongue is on fire because the signal is being sent to, simulate, basically burning on your tongue, where I'm like, you're going to be fine. But my tongue right now is just like, why are you not getting help? Like I set my water down and I'm like I should take a sip of it, but the heat,
I like that because you get like Carolina Reaper taste, but it's hot, but it's still manageable. It's not just like blow you out hot.
Yeah. So I'm going to go into my fact.
You're like, screw off.
I'm trying to go into my fact before I start like really, and because there's a second part to the fact, but I'm going to wait till after we do both of ours. So this is maybe something that you're going to be like, yeah, duh, but I don't know as much about peppers and like the creation of these. And this is one that was created. It wasn't like a natural pepper grown. It was created by Ed Curry from the Pucker Butt Pepper Company in Fort Mills, South Carolina, which we both know Fort Mills. I think we've both been to Fort Mills.
Yeah.
And I feel like I'd have to go back now just for this to visit Pucker Butt. But do you know what two peppers were crossed to create the Carolina Reaper? I feel like that's something
this
would.
This was going to be my fact yesterday, but I also saw conflicting things.
Okay.
I saw red habanero with is it butt or
boot
jalokia
or ghost pepper.
Yeah.
That's the one that I saw.
Okay.
So that's the one that I saw, and that's the one I ran with. But if that's not correct,
I think that's what it is. But I also saw another one. It was a habanero with it was something like something scorpion or something like that.
Like a Trinidad scorpion?
No.
Or something.
But it was,
knew that one, yeah.
It was something along those lines. But I think
it'd be funny if one place was like they don't use boot jalokia. They use ghost peppers, and it's like it's the same thing.
Yeah. Anyways, no, that was going to be my fact, but I'm like, something tells me he might use that one.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know as much about the Reaper. I just know what it looks like. I've seen people eat it on different YouTube videos.
Yeah, they're scary looking.
They are gnarly looking. I was talking to I think I was telling my niece, either my niece or my daughter, about peppers, where I'm like, one of the tricks for most peppers is if it looks scarier, it's probably hotter.
Yeah. Like
a jalapeno is a beautiful, smooth green pepper. But it's like, as you, like, habaneros, it's a little wrinkly, it's got, and then
why is that so warty?
Yeah.
It's warty, it's scary.
Like the Carolina
Reaper
like a
little ghost.
is like a toad with a spike. Like, that still has the tadpole on it. It's like, man, that is like, if it wasn't red, if you just like had any other color, like green or brown or whatever, it's like, that's just a toad.
Yeah. But no, so I knew they were crossed, but if you had asked me before yesterday,
yeah,
I wouldn't have been able to tell you what they were a cross between.
Okay. Yeah, and for the heat, so this is weird because this heat, it is strong and it does build. I'm doing pretty good right now though.
Mm-hmm.
So I would put this at minimum at a 3, which our heat scale again, 0 is no heat. 1 is a presence, which that's as minimal as you get with that. 2 is it's lingering. It's stays in your mouth or in your throat. It's a lingering presence there. 3 is where you're reacting, and I am getting like kind of the
my salivary glands.
Yeah, salivary glands are going. My nose is running a little bit more than the allergies had going, but 4 is like good pain. 5 is bad pain. I don't think this is painful.
No, that's why I said it's really manageable if you want the taste of a Carolina Reaper.
Yeah.
This is a good sauce. So I had this as a 3,
mm-hmm.
but it's like a 2+, 3- for me, where it's not as hot as I thought it was going to be.
Right.
But it still has, I don't know if you can hear me swallowing every 2 seconds. It's still making...
I'm doing the same thing, yeah.
It's still making me drool a little bit. But no, super good sauce. I like that one. So my fact, and I feel like we might have already talked about this, but I just think it's really neat. Talking about, so you could give pretty much any mammal a Carolina Reaper, they're going to react to it.
Yeah.
That's not the case for birds. Birds don't react to capsaicin.
I don't know if we talked about it on the podcast or if it was just something we've discussed in the past, like in the office or whatever, because I feel like that's something that I did see that as well. And I felt like, I didn't think that we talked about it in the episode, but I knew that we were both kind of aware of it.
Mm-hmm.
But it is interesting because I'm like, how do I test that fact out, but don't accidentally like damage animals?
Yeah. Yeah, you definitely don't want to give this to a dog. But so scientists don't know exactly what the reason is.
Okay.
But they think it has something to do with the fact, like, for example, pigeons and chickens have less than 50 taste buds.
Okay.
But humans have around 10,000.
So it's just like the filters or the slots that go into the taste buds.
It's just
maybe
much more limited.
Yeah.
Yeah. So maybe they don't have the capacity to taste it. But that's why you can buy, so I'm like a big birder. I'm an old man at heart.
Yeah.
And Courtney and I just love watching our bird feeder. You can buy suet cakes if you have a squirrel problem that are laced with capsaicin to keep the squirrels away, but the birds eat it just fine.
I think I did see that before where it's like, put the spice on there and let the squirrels... I'm curious what a squirrel's reaction would be, or if they would just be able to sense it by the smell, because, you can, like, we could smell this was a hot sauce.
Yeah. I do want to kind of, not take a bite, but just try it. Like, take a little piece of soot and just see how hot it actually is. If that squirrel's going to have a heart attack if he nibbles on it, or... like if the smell is just enough to keep him away, or it's just like a very mild discomfort. I'm real curious about that.
Yeah. I just like how it's something where if anything has spice or heat on it, you're like, I'll try like a little suet.
Yeah.
Like I'll just, just a little.
It's just beef tallow. It's beef tallow mixed with birdseed.
I know. It's just still the idea of, dog biscuits are healthy for humans. I've eaten a dog biscuit before.
Yeah.
Whatever the money was in the tip jar at this place I worked at the time. Because it was an ice cream shop, and they had a dog sundae, which is just ice cream with a biscuit on top. And someone's like, I bet you won't eat that. And I'm like, what do I get? And I got the tip jar.
That's fun. I had 2 this morning. Try me again.
Well, the basis, which this is a terrible basis for, like, if I should do it or not. But I was like, oh, well, Mel Gibson in Lethal Weapon, the first Lethal Weapon movie, he ate dog biscuits. It was fine because it was like a way for him to like try to quit smoking. He was like, nibbling on dog biscuits.
That's so funny.
And I'm like, that's not the best way to base things. Like, both base it off of a movie and like maybe in hindsight, basing things off of what Mel Gibson does isn't the best idea. So not a fan of
up with aliens and everything.
Not a fan of the podcast, Mel Gibson. I don't know. Sorry.
So I don't know why it just made me think of this. When Courtney and I first started dating, I don't know why I would do this, but I used to take just milk bones and I'd put them in her coat pocket. And so, like, we would go out to places, she'd reach into her pocket to pay or something, and she'd pull out like a handful of dog bones. And she'd look at me and be like, what are you doing? So, like, I was pretending like, and we were very new to dating at this point. So she was embarrassed. I was looking at her like, you're the weird girl that carries dog biscuits. And I remember she went home one day and she's like, Dad, stop putting milk bones. And he just smiled, you know, like he didn't know anything about it. He just thought it was funny. So he just smiled and carried on with life. And then she found out that it was me. Like she would take them out and I would just put more in when she wasn't looking.
That's a fantastic bit. Like that's just one of those where it's like, this is a quality bit. All right.
I totally forgot to do my score.
Oh, that's fine. While you work on the score, my other fun fact, I brought a new bottle onto the table. All it has is the sticker, which is
I see that. A mystery bottle?
The skull and the pepper. Do you want to know what this is?
Is it straight?
This is his limited edition release, La Muerte 2.0. Because people said that the La Muerte wasn't hot enough.
Are we trying it?
We're going to try it.
Are we doing it? Let's do
So
it.
it's supposed to... So we can still score this because we're scoring this on flavor.
Yeah.
This is just supposed to be the same thing but elevated heat. So we don't have to score this one, but we will look at how the heat differs. I'm a little worried. That one I felt pretty good. I'm like, all right, so that one... It made me feel better that one, like, it's a strong heat. It's a building heat.
Yeah.
But I came out of the other side okay.
I'm excited.
Yeah. So
did he say, like, how the batches differs is just more Carolina Reaper?
It's supposed to be just elevated heat, same recipe, but I didn't go into, like, a deep dive into that. So this one... Oh, hold on. Oh, this one had the better seal. So you'll see in the after episode a little bit that the La Muerte didn't really make a sound. So the La Muerte 2.0 made up for the lack of sound for the bottle here.
Yeah.
All right. Maybe a little bit lighter red. It also is hard to tell because this one just has one sticker on the outside. Otherwise, it's just an unmarked bottle. The other one has like a full label covering it, and it's got the black next to it.
Yeah.
But it does seem a little lighter to me in color.
Are we scoring this one, or are we just doing this for kicks and gigs?
I know you were doing math when I said it. We're just going to score the heat.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. I'm like, I just said that, but I'm like, wait, you were doing math.
I was.
Adding up.
I'm sorry. I'm a terrible host.
All right.
Co-host.
Let's see here. Yeah, give that one a smell. They both smell just like hot Reaper sauce.
This one, the smell's a little different. I want to say it's like not as aromatic, but it smells more intense, if that makes sense.
I feel like my nose, I don't know if it's like a mental thing, but I feel like my nose is a little warm right now from smelling it. Now this one, let's see how the pour is.
A little thicker, it looks like.
A little bit thicker. And I dropped a droplet. Yeah, this one will be, oh man. This is one of those times where I'm very glad that we have the mammoth tasting spoons that limit the amount.
Instead of a tablespoon.
All right, let's go with this one.
Ready?
Mm-hmm. So it's hotter, not like a punch, but the starting point is hotter. I'm tasting.
Really?
Because the initial one on that is like very, very low. And this one, while it is also low, I can taste that
This is a very steady ramp up.
This is going to be... Yeah, it just feels like it's building faster, but it's very steady. So we're going to see how this scores. While we're trying this one and seeing how the heat builds, let's talk about our scores. So do you want to go first with your score on this one?
Sure. I had a 67 for this one.
Okay. So this one, I scored it a little bit... This is probably our biggest difference on the scoring. And again, 67 in that 50 to 75, it's still a recommend to buy. It's just one that wouldn't be maybe a rotation in our kitchen, like a continual one, maybe just a seasonal one or whatever it might be, Halloween time. But for this first one, not the second one, that's building.
That's weird.
It's building.
That should be in an assassin's tool pouch.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not going to lie, I got no heat at first. Now I'm like 2-3-fold what that last one was, but it took about 30 seconds.
I'm telling you right now, this is a minimum of 4, like a solid 4.
Yeah, this is like a 3+ for me.
Yeah, I know. And that's fine. But for me...
It is much hotter, but it took me a long time to get there.
It's good, though.
Yeah, it is.
So for the other Reaper sauce, not the 2.0, but for the original La Muerte, I don't do a lot of Reaper sauces, and it's harder for me to enjoy them. Mm-hmm. I enjoyed this one a lot because it has that leveling up heat, but it wasn't as killer as like I'm pointing to the one that we're just trying right now.
Yeah.
So I actually had this as an 87.
Did you?
I just like, it's a very simple sauce. It's a very hot sauce.
Mm-hmm.
But I can actually enjoy this Reaper sauce, unlike very few Reaper sauces I'm able to enjoy. So I think that's the difference level for us. But
yeah, I think so.
Ooh.
But no, they're both really good. The second one is definitely, it's really weird.
My teeth are sweating.
It's weird though. Do you get what I mean? Where it ramps up very slowly, but you're peaking really hot. It's almost like there's oil in your mouth, and it's just taking a second for your mouth to absorb it.
Yeah, my mouth is like coated with saliva. I'm just like constantly.
It's hard for me to talk and not drool right now.
I know. I'm also, these ones, I know that some really spicy ones give people hiccups, which I haven't gotten, I don't think. But this one definitely is giving me the burps.
Yeah.
So I had to do a little sip of water there because I know it doesn't help a whole bunch, but well, Mike, here's the two sides of the spectrum. I'm going to take a sip of water. Mike is grabbing a second spoonful of the 2.0.
I like it.
It's really good. It's very hot.
Yeah.
It's a 4.
That's like
for me.
For me, that's like I'm making nachos on a Friday night. Let's have fun. I would eat that like on a lot of things. No, but
it's a good sauce. It is definitely hotter. It is. I was curious on how much of a ramp up from A to B we would actually go. Mm-hmm. It's significant.
Yeah.
So he definitely held up his end of the bargain for anyone that said La Muerte wasn't hot enough. Mm-hmm. He delivered.
Yeah. But that La Muerte is a good sauce. If you're trying to introduce someone to like
a hotter,
a hotter sauce, that's a good one to start. Where it's like this is the flavor you can expect.
It's a good explanation of here's how you're going to experience a Reaper sauce.
Yeah.
How that build happens.
Yeah.
Ooh.
All right, ready to start the morning?
Yeah. Yeah, throw that on a breakfast burrito and watch me just like stand in front of my fan.
Yeah.
Ooh. That I think I've hit the peak of, I don't know what the timeline for Reaper sauce usually is. I think I've hit the peak because it hasn't been building for the last 30 seconds or so.
Yeah.
It's just lingering on the tongue, roof of the mouth.
Hasn't been building for the last 30 seconds ago, but you took your spoonful like 2 minutes ago.
Yeah.
So it's been ramping up the whole time.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
That's funny. It's like an oil coating of capsaicin in your mouth.
Yeah.
Which is like you can't really escape it.
But no, it is. I like the La Muerte. I get him wanting to have like a Reaper sauce, and this is a really good one to enter in as just a classic Reaper, like very simple ingredients, no additives or anything like that. Mm-hmm. But yeah, the 2.0 definitely. Now it is a limited release on the 2.0. I don't think they have any right now, but if he does it again in the future,
yeah, I like that there's just a sticker on it.
Yeah, it's just like, hey, I think he did like, I don't know, he did 30 some bottles. Like he did just, hey, who wants a 2.0? Message me so I know that's how many I have to make, and then he made some extras.
Yeah.
And we got a 2.0.
Nice. Appreciate that.
Yeah,
that's a good one.
Yeah, it's a great La Muerte. This makes me feel more La Muerte than the other one, but my nose is running more than it was before. But no, this has been the Faiya Quickfire doubleheader where the Mama Juana and La Muerte both are some classic sauces to put on some different things. I'm going to do empanadas for one. I'm going to do probably nachos or burrito or tacos for the La Muerte. And now you have one that's your level of heat and one that's my level of heat for the Reapers.
It's a his and his.
His and his. Thank you. Thank you for saying his and his. So that has been our quickfire episode. If you have any recommendations of sauces to try in the future, definitely let us know. We are making a list of like that next round of ordering that we're going to do. If you have any other ideas of how you would use La Muerte or Mama Juana, like I said, the empanadas was one I heard recommended for Mama Juana. So let us know on that as well. But until next time, we will...
Sorry.
Okay.
I totally just crashed your party. Quick update. I don't think we talked about this on air, but I found, and now that I look at the address of the bottle, I think they restarted. But my favorite hot sauce went out of business. Bumming through the store last night.
Don't say the name of it.
I won't.
Okay.
It's going to be a future episode, and I'm excited to have Matthew try it.
Yeah, this is one that I know very little about, and it'll be an interesting episode to have because it's a very different it'll be a different episode, and we'll get into that when we do it. But
found 4 bottles last night on a dusty grocery shelf.
He's been talking about this since before we started, about this sauce. So that's a teaser. You'll have to listen when we come out with the episode. But until next time, we will talk to you later.
See you. It had a nice crinkle to it, even though it's not a zip.
It might be weird, but we'll see.
It sounds like a tree coming down where it starts like the crack, 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 crack.
Let's try La Muerte. Absolutely silent.
Silent but deadly.
Absolutely silent. Like, no one's going to believe we opened that one.